This week, I'm gonna go watch The Little Mermaid, you guys. I've told you, I'm a Disney Renaissance baby. I'm always looking forward to these live action movies, but I don't know about this one, you guys. I do try to avoid reviews and other people's opinions, but from what I have not been able to avoid, so from what I've seen online, I'm a little bit worried, but I really hope Halle carries. From what we've seen of her singing, I love it. I think she sounds incredible, so I'm hoping that's enough to carry the movie. Was it enough to carry the movie though? Let's talk about it. Hello you guys, welcome to another episode of I Watched It So You Don't Have To. This time we're talking about the latest Disney live adaptation, The Little Mermaid. Ariel, the youngest of King Triton's daughters, is a beautiful, spirited young mermaid with a thirst for adventure. She loves the surface world and she wants to learn as much as she can about their world. When she disobeys her father's rule and visits the surface world, she realizes that humans are not so different than they are. Following her heart, Ariel makes a deal with the Sea Witch Ursula to experience life on land. Unfortunately for Ariel, Ursula has her own goals in mind. As usual, I'm going to talk about what I didn't like, and then we're going to get into everything I love about this movie, which will, as always, lead to the acting. So let's get into it. I will start this off by saying that the movie looks great, from the CGI to the sets, but there was something off about the underwater scenes, especially after seeing what really pushing the technology can look like with Avatar: The Way of Water. Again, it wasn't bad, but there was something off about the way the actors looked, coupled with the hair, the background, and just everything else in frame. Now first, I will say, I love the singing in this movie. Everyone sounds incredible. Mostly everyone. Second of all, I am not a songwriter, I am not a filmmaker. I cannot do a better job. But Under the Sea bothered me so much, and this is one of my favorite songs from childhood. I do love the song. It is one of my favorite Disney songs, period. Still to this day. Also, there's only so many things that can really translate to live action well, but when you're telling me that even the sturgeon and the ray, they get the urge and start to play, and no one is playing anything, then what's the point of the lyric? I will say that they did some of the lyrics, but not nearly enough. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at least each little slug here cutting a rug here under the sea was there. The slugs were dancing, and maybe a few other lyrics were there too. But again, we've got a hot crustacean band. There was no band. And all the sea creatures mentioned playing instruments in the song, where? Again, I understand that there are some things that just can't be translated to live action, but it was more than a little bit disappointing. Speaking of music and what may or may not translate well to live action, instead of a new arrangement of Le Poisson, we got the Scuttlebutt by Aquafina. The former might have been a bit much, but back in the day, I really enjoyed that song, but I don't know how well audiences today would take that song. But the Scuttlebutt, horrific. Speaking of horrific, which, believe it or not, will take us into what I love about this movie. I remember when I first saw the trailer for the movie, I paused when they showed Sebastian for the first time because I was just laughing so hard. He looks crazy. Sebastian and Flounder, they are too realistic, and I had a hard time looking at them in the marketing. But what I will say is that they did grow on me. It might have taken nearly the entire runtime, but the character designs did eventually grow on me. You know whose designs I really loved? Flotsam and Jetsam were realistic and horrific in a much different way that really suited the characters, and the first time we saw them on screen, you guys, amazing. Speaking of amazing, I love a really unique and seamless scene change, and I was surprised that this movie was full of them. On top of that, there are some really striking visuals and iconic moments that I loved. Before we get into the acting, I do want to touch back on the music and the singing. I know I spent some time dragging some of the songs, but I was really anticipating hearing some old favorites, and they really are equally as good or better. I mean that for the original songs, but I really love some of the new songs, like the second reprise of Part of Your World. Like I said at the top of the video, Halle's singing carried. She sounded incredible. I really got in my feelings when she was singing Part of Your World, and maybe you guys, I cried a little bit. And the reprise for Part of Your World is so soft and so powerful. I get chills just thinking about it. Flat out magic. I was extremely impressed and very surprised with Melissa McCarthy, you guys. I was ready for the acting, but the singing blew me away. I really love the tones she gave throughout the song, the energy and the urgency, the acting through the singing, the deception and the malice, the performance, the singing coupled with the acting, the snippy and sharp performance. I love, 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 love. Moving right into the acting, let's talk about Halle Bailey as Ariel. She has a ton of potential as an actress, and I'm eager to see if this movie opens up more roles for her. She held her own throughout the film, but when she wasn't singing, she was outshone by the likes of Javier Bardem and Melissa McCarthy. But she also didn't have very many scenes with them, so that said, she did a pretty good job. Even when Ariel was without her voice, Halle easily communicated so much. She did spend a lot of time with Jonah Hauer, King's Prince Eric, and I think they acted really well together. They're so cute together, and I really love their chemistry. Jonah really had the chance here to add so much to the character of Prince Eric because he was a more full character. In addition to that, his singing was also fantastic. I will say when he broke out in song, it was very unexpected, but the song was really good. I liked the lyrics and how the song fit into his story. Javier Bardem as King Triton. I love it. He's got such an awesome presence as a king, and you guys, such a strength as Ariel's father that I somehow wasn't ready for them to get into. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Stunning. I love everything about her performance. I touched on it a bit ago, but she really brought so much to the role. The brooding, the spite, and the ulterior motives really make Ursula even more interesting and complex. I wasn't gonna end this section without talking about Miss Vanessa. Jessica Alexander killed this role with, at the time in the theater, I thought she was on screen for less than 5 minutes, and I think I've been reading articles, 6 minutes. She killed it. This is an example of what to do when you've got 6 minutes of screen time. Amazing. All right, you guys, I watched it so you don't have to, but was it worth the watch? Oh yeah, if you're a Disney Renaissance baby like me, if you've got little ones, or if you're just a fan of The Little Mermaid, then you need to see this movie. It truly is a breath of life into a classic. Did they need to remake this or any of the other movies that they just keep remaking? Probably not. But they're gonna keep doing it, and I'm just gonna go with the flow and I'm gonna keep watching them. This movie is a cute romance and a solid coming-of-age story. It's entertaining and funny, and one kids, or maybe just your inner child, will absolutely love. I did go over things I didn't like about the movie, and there's definitely more you can pick on, but if you think Halle being cast as Ariel or lyric changes to Kiss the Girl are the issue, then maybe watch the movie again or don't even bother. If you're looking for another live-action take on a Disney classic, if you're looking for a movie to take little ones to or take your inner child to, if you're looking for a movie that's got vibrant colors and rich music, if you're looking for a remake that will expand on the movie we all know and love, if you don't mind some awkward moments, then this one's for you. If you're tired of the Disney live-action remakes, if you don't like The Little Mermaid, if you really have issues with the previously mentioned casting and lyric changes, if you don't like Awkwafina because she is there and she is jarring. We talked about her in the Renfield video, and I really didn't mind her in that movie, but here, she is obnoxious and loud and not in an endearing or charming way that the character was in the animated movie. If you don't think you can get past the CGI, and it really is what's in the trailer, just 2 hours and 15 minutes of it on a huge screen, then I would look for something else to watch in the genre. Alright, movie fans, that brings us to the end of the video. Check out the description below for a link to the podcast. If you're watching here on YouTube, leave the video a thumbs up if you like the video, so I know you like the video. Have you seen The Little Mermaid yet? If you saw the movie already, what did you think about it? I think very few movies really deserve the hate they get, and from what I've seen of the negative reviews for this one, it just seems like people that were ready to not like this movie didn't like this movie. Personally, I was expecting a fun and nostalgic movie with incredible singing, and that's what I got. Halle's acting didn't have me holding my breath because it was just so good. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to, but her singing did. The CGI for the underwater scenes, which of course there are a lot of underwater scenes, was wild. But honestly, the CGI did look good, but when he had the actors on screen and then the close-ups, there was just something that looked off, and it was very distracting. Does that make this a bad movie? Not at all. The lyric changes are fine. The music still flows, and the storytelling is still there. I can go on and on about the songs, but I won't. Plus, I've blocked out Awkwafina's rapping from my mind. It never happened. Speaking of Scuttle, I don't think the bird species change was a big deal, but after seeing the movie, I don't think it was necessary either. I don't mind either way, but I know people really had an issue with that. Anyway, closing thoughts on the movie. Touching back on the character designs for Flounder and Sebastian, honestly, Flounder really grew on me first. He's just a baby. Sebastian took so much more time, no matter how well the actor did, and no amount of humor can change the fact that he looked like he was one melted cup of butter away from being an entree, and I don't even eat crab. They should have let Halle sing Vanessa's song, the entire song, because the little bit that we got, she ate. If they let her sing the whole thing, she would have killed it. Melissa McCarthy is the highlight of the movie, as well as Halle's singing. Even the songs she sang that I didn't like sounded incredible. Like I said earlier, if you're looking for a remake that will expand on the classic we're familiar with, then I would check this one out. And I'm talking about more story. There's more character depth, and Ariel has more character agency, and I love to see that, especially toward the end of the movie. Let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comments below. While you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next movie that I'm going to be watching for you. You guys, I kind of pushed this video off because I've got a lot going on with life, but hopefully I'm getting back on track. As you obviously have noticed, this is another audio episode that I am posting to YouTube and onto the podcast. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things. I do want to keep talking about movies. I just don't have it in me to be on camera at the moment. Life is taking a lot out of me right now. Across the Spider-Verse is one of the best Spider-Man movies. I can't. I still need to write the script for that one. Hopefully I can get that video out at the very latest next week, but we will see. Just be patient with me. Give me some time. Just know, TLDR, the movie is incredible. After that, so this week, I'm going to finally watch Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. You guys, you have no idea how excited I am. I saw the final trailer yesterday. It's giving. I'm very excited. Unicron, I think in the trailer, he was like transformed, you guys. I'm losing it. Who else transformed? Cheetor? I'm very excited about him. Love him. So I'm very eager to see that movie. I think the tickets I have next are for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I wanted to see the Boogeyman. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch that one in theaters. I do want to see The Blackening, but I don't think the tickets are on sale yet. So just hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss the movies that I'm going to be watching. That's all I've got for now, so I do hope you'll join me here on YouTube and on the podcast, especially for those exclusive episodes. You can always check out the community tab here on YouTube or my Instagram for more updates. Thank you for hanging out with me and for watching. You can catch a new episode of I Watched It So You Don't Have to every Friday. But until the next video, spread positivity, be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!